The website is knowthelawyer.com. That's KNOW for those of you that don't know, because if you think it's NO the lawyer, then you probably are in trouble. John Phillips joins us with legal advice right now, as he does once a month, and tries to help you folks out. He also is very closely watching the Trayvon Martin Zimmerman case, which a lot of us are. So let's go to him right now and say hello. John?
Good morning, guys. Some say too close. I've probably over-tweeted about Trayvon.
Your words like obsession?
Well, I've got the Jordan Davis case, and so it's similar. So I'm watching it real close because we're going to have basically a different but similar case come down in September. So I'm just trying to be prepared for the family.
Yeah, and now the cases are a little more. Yours is a little more defined, is it not?
It is, and it's Trayvon truly has 50% of the population one way and 50% of the population the other, whereas ours is pretty polarizing for the kid. Michael Dunn went in and shot kids over loud music and an argument and fired 10 rounds into a car. There was no security threat. There was no, justification whatsoever.
Cold-blooded.
Absolutely.
Damn. All right, so what do you think is going on right now? What is your gut telling you about the Trayvon thing?
I don't think the state's carrying the water. That as far as second-degree murder, I don't think they've proved their case at all. And it's still early, but it's day 7 of the state's case, and if they haven't convinced me, I don't know who they convince. I know the family, and so maybe manslaughter, but with a jury you never know. Jury of women, you never know. So.
We were talking about this the other day. That's pretty much where a lot of these trials are won and lost right away with jury selection.
It is. It's the most important part, and I was interested to see that the defense, despite their claims not to have money, paid for one of the best jury selection experts in the country. And it's as the side that gets to go first. I represent plaintiffs, so we always get to go first. You can just have such a chance to have a rapport and get to know the jury and laugh and joke a little bit, just a little bit, and get to know them. And it makes such a huge difference because that's the only time you really get to talk directly to them until closing argument. So you want to just check out and make sure you're screening the bad ones out, but going ahead and making sure they think you're a good guy and your client is too.
I actually wanted to call you the other day after the knock-knock joke.
Oh, and I hated it.
And, and see what your take was on it. Of course, every attorney they put on TV hated it too.
I literally cringed and said, "You've got to be kidding me." And then, he followed up with that with his daughter, and it's his daughter, and daughters do stupid things, but his daughter posting the picture of them all
having ice cream,
eating ice cream, and here he's, she tagged it, he killed it in a murder trial, and posted it right after that Rachel Jantel, we beat stupidity, and it's like,
Well, I think the only thing that saved him there, where the chick in the middle is super hot.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that was one of his daughters that she was. But it hadn't saved him yet because Bernie filed a motion on it last night. So he's going to be bringing it up, which I was wondering if they were going to try to bring, again, a daughter's photo into a court proceeding. But the daughter did some work on the case. So, it all ties into it.
So is this too early for you to predict an outcome for this?
Anybody predicting outcomes on this one's, they're probably biased and they probably are wrong. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't be surprised. Here goes. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a hung jury. It's been so contentious that I don't know that 6 people are going to agree. And then what? We retry it again, and what happens then? So, it's unless they go for a compromise charge of negligent killing or manslaughter, I don't know, but I don't I don't think it was second-degree murder.
It's one of those things that's maddening, because you're just never going to know.
You're not, and with the gun laws where they are, and you can be on either side of it. I'm not going to judge you, but with the gun laws that there are, both sides were right. Both sides in their own mind perceived the other person as a threat.
Yeah,
completely and legitimately, and so. The question is why and was it reasonable? And if you're looking at race, and I think both of them were, because of where the race relations are in this country, both of them were right. And so what do you do in that situation? You got one dead kid and a guy that, was a lot overzealous. Shouldn't have gotten out of his car. If your neighborhood watch and you're calling the cops, you don't need to go chase the kid.
So let me clarify something. He knew this kid, right?
No, not at all.
Oh, not at all? Okay. All right.
No, but there was a black kid with a hoodie that had recently been reported to breaking in somewhere. And, they had, this neighborhood had gone into, 50% of the homes had gone into foreclosure, it had flipped over, and it was just,
yeah.
You've seen the movie where you're mad as heck and you're not going to take it anymore.
Yeah.
And he was to that point where, this was his neighborhood, and it had gone into a place he didn't want it to be, and grills were getting stolen and all that. And so he just jumped to the ultimate conclusion and got in over his head, and, here we are.
Yeah, it's a fascinating trial just because it's somebody's probably going to get screwed one way or the other.
And I worry about the reaction. Defense attorney last night tripping over himself to get on every TV interview when that used to be absolutely, and it's almost like it's kind of creepy because it's kind of a game show that they try cases within the case.
Yeah,
they have sets and all that. And one of the attorneys for Trayvon's family was on that, and how can you go on that during the middle of your client's trial?
Well,
and we're just in a new world of.
Well, you can thank Nancy Grace for that, for the most part.
All right, we've told you that if you have a situation, you could go ahead and call John right now. You need some free legal advice. We got him for a couple segments here. Call us right now at 866-977-3687. John, we have 4 minutes to try to help this guy out, so let's do it. Let's go to John. You're on with John Phillips. KnowTheLawyer.com. K-N-O-W, not N-O, you dumbasses. All right, go ahead, John. You're on with John.
All right, y'all there?
Yeah.
Okay. So right now I got a first-degree robbery, first-degree burglary, ACA, as well as a Class C drug possession charge. So I got an A, B, and C felony. And I don't know. I don't know what kind of deal they want to come at me with. I've never been in trouble before. So, but I do have, there was a gun involved in all that, so I don't know what I'm looking at.
You're looking at bad news. And again, I don't want you to tell me if you did it or not or go into too much of the facts, but...
Yeah, I'm working on getting the cash together for a lawyer.
Yeah, you need to get the resident later.
Okay, well, technically, it's on the internet. I can see it, but I guess I'm technically on the run.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't even know how to answer that one. Yeah, there's probably a warrant. The question is whether it's, there's a writ for your arrest, or whether, if they're actually looking for you, or whether, there's basically a capias where, if you get pulled over for another reason, they'll take you in. But, again, some of that may get held against you.
Right now I have a no-bond warrant.
Okay.
Dude, if I'm you, I turn myself in, say I've never been in trouble before. I
don't know how this process works.
I don't know how this process works. I don't know how I got here and got in this much trouble, but I just want to move forward and get this behind me. What do I need to do?
Quit piling stuff on,
Yeah.
dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the first step I would make would be to take it seriously and find a lawyer. If you can't afford a lawyer, it's going to have to happen in the way that Lex said. You're going to have to turn yourself in, and they'll, you can do the application to get the public defender's office to help.
That's the problem. Every public defender in my county is worthless as a tits on a boar hog. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you get that everywhere. Where they're critiqued. Jacksonville actually has a really good one, but it's. They're overworked and they're not getting paid much, so you don't tend to get the highest end attorneys, going to work for $40,000, $50,000.
No.
They ain't gonna do nothing for me. So.
Well, they do this, John. They know the law, and they can at least display most clever form of defense or whatever the case is. Doing stupid things, which you seem to be doing in abundance right now. Suggest you do what John says and do it.
All right, John, you're gone. We're done with you. Your phone sucks.
Yeah.
We told you guys to call us. We've got John right now on with us. If you'd like to get some free legal advice, now is the time to call. We said, come on, let's not do any custody crap because that's boring. We wanted real good stuff, and I got to give it to the last caller, John. He came with some good stuff, all right.
Yeah, that's exactly the kind of thing we're looking for. So by all means, have something like that, and John can definitely help you out. He's accredited in 3 or 4 states and is able to work in those, so it's most of the ones we're on. So call 866-977-DO-IT. We'll be right back. It's Lex and Terry.
I ain't worried about it.
Terry.
I ain't a menace. They just don't know how to deal with me.
The Lex and Terry Morning Radio Network.
We are on with John Phillips, and of course, a friend of the show, and comes on here willingly once a month, and what's it called, pro bono? Gives us free legal advice. And we ask you to take advantage of it, and looks like you have. We got a lot of people up here. So.
Damn it. All right.
You got problems there, buddy?
Yeah. I do.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know what you're doing differently over there, but everything's all screwed up.
Well, maybe you might need a lawyer to help you take care of those problems.
No. All right, we got John Phillips, like Lex said, with us. By the way, if you want to get a hold of John, it's knowthelawyer.com, K-N-O-W, thelawyer.com. I posted all of his information to our Facebook page, which is our official Facebook page, which is facebook.com/official Lex and Terry. It's up there. That's how you get a hold of him, because a lot of people want to know afterwards. There's some really juicy things up here, John. Let's go ahead and take it. Henry, you're on with John Phillips. Go ahead, Henry.
Hey, Mr. Phillips. Let me all right, real quick. My ex, my 2 children are 25 and 26. My ex has run their credit to the point where they are so far in debt they'll never get out. Now, is there some way that they can credit? People can go back and see how old these children were when all this credit was brought up, and see that it's not their responsibility, really?
Yeah, they can. Basically there's some fraud probably issues that they can pursue both with the credit reporters, and with the state. I mean, they could potentially prosecute her. But they need to just pull their credit, check the credit, and, sometimes you even need a lawyer to get involved. But a lot of times you can just send a letter saying, look, anything before I was 18, anything, 7, 8 years old isn't mine. Here's the issue, though, but, it's supposed to all expire about every 7 or 8 years.
Right.
Here they're 7 or 8 years past 18, so there really shouldn't be that much on there, but, again, you never know.
Man, is your ex-wife a black woman?
No, she's not.
I say throw her to the wolves, baby. Prosecute.
We haven't spoken in years, and
even more reason to
today. And I would care, My son is completely eaten up with his mother, but my daughter can't stand her. It's just I hate for my daughter. She wants to buy a house. She wants to live the American dream, but she can't because her credit says she can't.
Yeah, we get it. We understand what bad credit does to you.
Right.
If you've got lenders giving credit to somebody under 18, it's their problem too. So there's a lot of things that they can do to take, but it starts with pulling the credit from the credit reporting agents. Starting there.
You know what you need to pull? Your daughter's head out of your ex-wife's ass and tell her to prosecute her.
Yeah, that's what needs to happen. I know.
Okay, then.
All right.
John can't do that for you.
Here. Throw her in the clink.
Yeah. You don't need a lawyer. You need a doctor.
Yeah, make sure she goes to the Hooskow.
Yeah.
Throw her stink in the clink.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's what you
Throw
do.
her skank in the tank.
Although my mama had a phone bill in my name when I was about 8.
Yeah. Well, see, that's wrong. Throw that bitch in the ditch.
Well, she's already under the ground.
John, aren't these good stuff?
I love you guys. Yeah,
okay.
It's the wheel of misfortune.
All right, so let's see. Who do you want to go to? There's some doozies up here. What do you see that you like?
Craig stood out for me, because a lot of people are dealing with this right now. Line 5. Right. Craig?
Hey, guys, what's up?
We're up.
You're on with John Phillips. Attorney John Phillips, knowthelawyer.com. Everything is up. It's good. Ask your damn question, bitch.
Hey, John. I'll try to make this short as possible. My mom, she works for an attorney, and so it's second nature for her to get as much information as she possibly can. Well, these so-called debt collectors called her house looking for me, and whenever they called her, they used her name as well. So she was getting the guy's name, their address, things like that. Well, when she asked him the address, he's all like, started saying to her, man, that's a threat. That's a threat. You can't be doing that. He goes, you could be trying to send us bombs in the mail or something. He goes, are you threatening us with bombs? And so, he just completely went nuts on her. And then so she called me and told me what happened. So I called the guy, and, it was just, I have never experienced anything like this in my life. The guy was quoting freaking Michael Jackson lyrics, talking about, have you ever heard of that song about Michael Jackson, Look in the Mirror? Well, that's what you need to do, sir. He goes, you're nothing but a loser. You need to go take a look in the mirror at yourself by Michael Jackson. I'm like, what? I was like, dude, you're freaking nuts. What is wrong with you people? I was like, y'all can't be talking to people. Y'all are violent.
All right, your story's too long.
Here's the question. What is the line that debt collectors can say to you? That's what your question should have been.
How hard is that, Craig?
Well, my thing is...
Shut up, Craig. Let John answer.
He's going to answer your question now.
All right, go ahead.
All right, thank you. They've crossed the line, clearly. When it comes to harassment, they're supposed to just get and give information about what they're doing. And when they start name-calling or, getting into hyping things up, clearly there's a violation of both federal and state law, depending upon the state. You need to, usually it's the Department of Consumer Affairs in each state that handles it, and you just need to start there and make a complaint. I would also complain to, I would ask the guy for, his boss and make it up level over that. These guys are, tend to be the shady types, and they deal with belligerent people all day long, and I think it has a psychological effect on them such that they become even more belligerent, or maybe they just hire belligerent people.
And they deal with liars all the time.
Oh, yeah, it was
miserable scumbags sometimes, and we just need to make sure that, you report the miserable scumbags so that, debt collectors, they have a job to do just like you and I, but they've got to do it professionally.
All right, you can call us at 866-977-3687. See, John, I had a similar situation, and I don't mind saying who it was with, and also this happened quite a few years ago with Direct Television. And they every night at 2:12 They had some sort of weird glitch that had said that I was ordering the same porn movie over and over and over. And we called and we said, hey, I'm not ordering porn. I'm in bed at that time. And you know, and this person actually said to my wife, well, I think maybe you guys have a problem in your relationship. And we couldn't believe it. You know, it's like my wife's going, hey, my husband can order porn all day long. There's no problem in our relationship. You obviously have a glitch. Every morning at 3:13 or whatever the hell it was, it's ordering the same stupid movie. You're charging us hundreds of dollars for it. And now you have the balls to say that I'm lying to her and your husband's obviously lying to you and there's a problem in your relationship. I've had emotional distress over this for years, John, and I think I should own this company.
I agree, except you can't. You know, you got to track them all down to damages, and it's, you know.
Damages are I haven't been able to sleep at night, and I haven't been able to do my job right, and I make $10 million a year.
Yeah, if that were all true,
it is.
I would probably move to Seattle and work for you exclusively. But that's a whole other issue.
If this were all true, it is.
It was true, 100%.
When I'm telling your story or I'm advocating for you, I've got to depend on you telling the truth. And
that was the truth.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
What don't you know?
The point is, I guess the broader point, whether you're ordering porn or not, dude. But the point,
I wasn't. I was, and I'm telling you the truth. They said that I had a bad relationship with my wife. And that I was ordering porn and I hadn't even touching anything. And there was nothing I was doing at all.
No, all jokes aside, it's a customer service problem. And, you know, people just need to spend more time complaining about the crappy service that they're getting. And you know,
they don't care.
That person shouldn't be, you know, psychoanalyzing you just to fix the customer complaints. Yeah.
Well, I should be allowed to know who that person is, where they live, just like that last guy said, so I could go ahead and talk to them in person about it.
Yeah.
That's harassment to me.
That's the thought.
See, that's harassment. Again, you called me and then said that. That's harassment.
Right, but the responsibility is ultimately the company's. You know, they've got to be.
That's why I should own it.
If my paralegal, you know, called you and was harassing you, I would hope you'd give me a phone call and say, John, your paralegal's not treating me.
Yeah,
like
but you can't get a hold of anybody at companies like this.
That's true.
There are ways. Yeah, I mean, if you really express, I mean, heck, I tweeted something to Comcast the other day, and I had a business ops person call me. You know, they're trying to be more sensitive. You know, DirecTV is just such a big behemoth.
Yeah. All right. I tried to get some money. It didn't work. All right. Just like a lot of these people on the line. Do we have time for one more segment with you? Because there's our doozies up here, right, guys?
Yeah.
I'm available.
All right, cool.
I want to know what line one's all about.
Yeah, I also want to get line 10 on as well, so we got a couple up there.
These are good ones. We have rape. We have Africans going crazy. Yep. I don't know what that means.
Yes, I can't wait to hear his description. Mm-hmm. I'm clamoring to get to the next segment, so we will. We'll be back after this on Lex and Terry.
Lex and Terry.
Is he just ignoring the whole fact that you're pregnant? Do you guys even talk about that?
Yeah, we talked about it. He said he cares about the little one.
But not you.
Right, not me.
Not the big bitch that surrounds it.
Yeah.
That sucks, don't it?
Hey, it happens.
The Lex and Terry Morning Radio Network.
So, Lex, I'm texting John Phillips during the break there, saying that about the DirecTV thing. I'm still working him on it. I can't sleep because of the humiliation. And then, my wife is leaving me because of what DirecTV said. No? Still not biting? But just to think that, you know what, they could actually do that. they can actually ruin people's relationships. They can, out of that type of stuff.
Dude, if you wanted to, you could probably cost that person their job.
I don't want that.
And that's pretty much all you could do.
A piece of the company.
You're not going to get it.
What kind of lawyer are you, John?
I know. I take the back. I ignore calls like that every day.
I know you do, and I have a feeling that a lot of people are doing that just to try to get money, and that's the tough part for you, because some people, it kind of ruins it for people that have have been wronged,
Mm-hmm.
So which one do you want to go to?
Food poisoning cases are the worst, because you get somebody that's had a bad meal and it'll affect their view of that meal in that restaurant for their life. But again, there's, unless you've got major damages, unless you caught some disease or have some foodborne bacteria tear you up and it's documented, they're almost impossible cases.
Yeah.
Well, Tara, hang on. We're going to get to you in Illinois, but right now we have Ryan on. We got to see what this one's all about. Go ahead, Ryan.
Hey, good morning, guys. Mr. Phillips, I work with a African, and him and I kind of got into it at work. Said he wasn't going to listen to me when I was told by one of my coworkers to bring him down. And when we got into an argument, I walked away, went out to my truck, and just sat and relaxed. Two of my coworkers came down and said that he threatened to kill me and one of my other coworkers. He would bring a gun to work and get rid of us. He also told my managers that he would do the same thing to us. Is there anything and they brought him back to work. He was off for 1 week. They told him to go to get anger management.
Oh, geez.
And now he's back to work and everything's all fine and dandy. Everybody tiptoes around him. What do we do?
Keep tiptoeing.
You definitely keep tiptoeing, but there's things you can do for a hostile work environment if if it's truly hostile. Now, if it's perceived that you're overreacting or that things really weren't that bad, it could get you in more trouble than it's worth. But if it's truly a hostile work environment and not just you having a problem with this individual, there's state bureaus that tend to handle that stuff, and also you just need to document your file that you're truly having fear and related issues from this. Now, again, most states, I don't even need to ask what state you're in. Most states are right-to-work states, meaning that you can be fired for any reason. So it's always a catch-22. You can't be fired for complaining about fearing for your own safety. So, it's just.
I fear for my own safety at work here too.
Well,
I work
it's about Terry today.
We're in
all about me.
Just check the flight manifest every day.
What was that?
We are
inside
in North
joke. Don't worry about it.
And it is a right-to-work state.
Not even a joke.
My thing in their company policy, it states that if you're threatened by a coworker, that they have the right to fire him.
That's my loss.
I'm wondering if they weren't thinking he could turn around and sue him, or didn't want to pay him workman's unemployment. I don't know.
I want to get to your African statement.
Yeah.
Has anything else happened?
Nothing's happened. I mean, him and I don't talk. He don't talk with this other coworker. Everybody is kind of, just kind of tries to avoid him as much as possible.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's a tough situation to give legal advice, because I don't want to give the wrong advice either. And that's why I'm going to give the disclaimer. This isn't necessarily advice. You need to contact a lawyer in your own state. But it's a matter of documenting the file, your employment file, that you have an issue with this individual, and making sure your boss writes down what happened, and that you're still having, fear to protect the record, if you will. And then just kind of seeing if it's healthy for you to still work there. If it's not, you may want to look for another job.
And dude, when you said Africa, do you mean is he from Africa, or is this guy?
Yeah, he's Somalian.
Oh, okay, good.
And the thing of it is I got along with him before all this happened. I actually got a Sudanese gentleman that his wife went to school with my wife, and great guy, hard worker, does his job, but this other guy just gets away with murder around.
You don't
here.
like him, and like John said, document your file. Just do what he, even though it wasn't his advice. I would say something along the lines of the same thing. If you just called us, just document it so it's always on file with your employers. And I personally wouldn't even rely on them to keep it because they could easily misplace it. Have them sign something. I gave this to you. That type of stuff. That's what I would do anyway. But
all right. I appreciate.
All right, because that's scary stuff to me. I don't take that stuff lightly.
No, because if something happens to him, then what did the lawyer say? Because it's the reason I don't do employment law because of right to work states and employers being able to hire and fire, but then retaliation and wrongful discharge and all of the stuff going on. It's so dicey, and you got to be up on the law every day. And when you've got a situation where you feel threatened, who'd want to go to work in that situation?
As a manager, if that guy came into me and said that he just said that to 2 employees, and I find out that he did, I would fire him. I don't know what the problem here is.
You terminate an employee for any acts of violence, much less threat.
Yeah.
You just can't have that.
I'd be like, you better be, are you telling me the truth here? Because I'm about to fire you.
All right. Tara, you're on with John Phillips. KnowTheLawyer.com, KNOW, thelawyer.com. Go ahead there, Tara.
Hi. Hi, guys.
Hi, Tara.
Hi. Hi, I'm Tara. I got a friend of mine. She's 28. I won't say her name or anything.
Okay.
But she was at a party with a guy she didn't really know that well. It was on New Year's Eve. She got really drunk, like really quick, I guess. She said it seemed like she only had a couple drinks. And she ended up in the bathroom throwing up. She had to go to bed. She went to bed at this guy's house. And he said, oh, go use my bedroom, crash out, whatever, And she got up the next morning, and her bra was, like, all disheveled. And her panties were not anywhere to be found. And she could tell that something had happened downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, okay. She kind of did the walk of shame out of the house. She just got out of there,
Yeah.
And was really wondering. And then a couple hours later, cops showed up at her house and arrested her. And while they wanted her to take her down for questioning and stuff like that about raping some child that was at the house. And she said, what are you talking about? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. Well, I guess the guy that owns the house, his son and his friend had came home and apparently had raped her while she was sleeping. And I'm gonna cry. One of the kids is 14, the other one's 15, and they made her go down and do a rape kit and like all that kind of stuff. And they found both of their DNA apparently on her. And they did a drug screen and everything, and I guess she was drugged also. Well, she said she was drugged. They're saying that you took these drugs and you raped my kids, Okay. And she doesn't know.
So bottom line is your friend's being charged with rape.
Yes, and she has small children. She can't even, if this goes through, she won't be able to go pick her kids up from school or, be near her kid. I mean, we don't know what's really going to happen after everything's said and done.
All right, well, hopefully she has an attorney and a good one.
John.
Obviously, no, not John. This is Illinois. He can't do it.
But John can talk to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you need any, you can call me.
Is that what you meant? I see.
If you need any advice, it's
not ask Lex.
It's serious. All right, guys. It's a serious matter. He's a serious lawyer.
We got scolded.
Tragic. I don't even know where to start. You can't, there's no way I can break it down. she just needs to get a lawyer to track down and show the blood tox for the Rohypnol or roofies or whatever it is that they gave her, and track this thing down. And hopefully the kids are honest. If not, I would absolutely interrogate the fire out of them.
John's fired up. I like this.
It's just saying that it was consensual, but they're not old enough to consent.
Correct. No, I mean that's statutory rape for you. But still, if she wasn't about her wits, then she didn't have intent to commit statutory rape, so that she should get off. I realized I did that as soon as I said it. But she just needs to get a good lawyer. There are wonderful defenses for this, and she should be able to be acquitted or the charges dropped. But again, this is one that you need to call somebody yesterday as soon as possible, because there may be that some of the tox screens that they need to do were time sensitive. So it's you have to give. Even statutory rape has to be a voluntary act. You have to actually do it. You can't essentially be laying there, and because it was a minor and you were passed out, that be considered statutory rape.
Well, thank you, Jared. Good luck. Let us know what happens with this, all right? And your calls, the 866-977-3687. You can actually go online. First of all, let's actually find out exactly where John practices. For all of you people that have issues, you can get a hold of John at our Facebook page, by the way. I've left a link there to John's website, knowthelawyer.com, KNOW, thelawyer.com. Where can you actually help people out, John?
Florida, Georgia, and Alabama is where I'm licensed. We don't do as much Alabama work, but I spend quite a bit of time. Of course, I live in Jacksonville, Florida, and spend a good bit of time these days in Atlanta. So, just give us a call. 800-656-6952. It's 1-800-6-NO-LAW. Sound like I've done that before. And we'll be happy to talk to you.
And if somebody's a really good football player, shall they come to you as well?
Yeah, if they're really good, they could probably bring me out of retirement. But that's such a hustle and such a scheme that I've generally retired.
So You're getting away from representing professional athletes as far as an agent goes. All right.
There's just a no-win situation. And you got guys like Aaron Hernandez running around being a bonehead, and the agent gets caught up in it. So
yeah, screw that. Who'd want to be responsible for that?
Right. When you can help out families like Jordan Davis's family, and like the young girl that just called, you can really make impact as a injury and death lawyer in people's lives. I know we get a bad rap, and you guys have seen. It was a more commercial case, but, it's sometimes you just need a lawyer and you need somebody that's going to kick butt for you, and that's what we do.
Yeah, well, you certainly have done very well for yourself, John. You have a great reputation and a growing business, and, we, of course, been fans for a while. So, it's great to have you on here every month and helping these folks out, and we love you, man.
Love you guys, and next time I'll be in Dallas.
You got it.
We'll talk to you soon, John.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Right.
That is John Phillips, knowthelawyer.com. You've seen him. He's like on Headline News.
Headline News.
Not Home Shopping Network, but...
He'll probably be on there soon.
Yeah, I get all these things all messed up.
He's just one of those guys that gets on TV.
All the time.
He's been on MSNBC, HLN, ABC... DEF, LMNOP,
TMZ, TMZ.
The man knows how.
LOL, BFD,
BTW, all that stuff. FYI, that's a big one. We missed that.
STFU,
WWJD,
WTF. He was great on STFU. And that was a very animated night.
Yeah. All right.
So those of you with legal stuff up there, you can go, yeah.
Yeah, don't call anymore. We're done with you. Sorry.